Looks like we've got ourselves some hackers on the loose. And they're actually trying their spiel by phone. I got a phone call and the caller ID said 12345678990. Now that was suspicious in itself. Picked up the phone. Somebody with an Indian accent identified themselves as working for some sort of company that distributes Windows. Excuse me. Anyway, told me there was malware on my computer and they were receiving error messages in their call center or whatever you would call it. Decided to play along for a little bit. So he had me go to my computer, switch on my computer, go into the event viewer, and then he asked me to count the number of errors and warnings in the event viewer. At this point I realized the guy was insane, because first of all, what use would that information be to any security company other than to keep me busy? And of course the event logs that you'll see in the event viewer will always be full of little error messages and warnings. Every time one of your programs crashes or anything like that, there's an error or warning in there. So the fact that there are errors and warnings in there does not necessarily mean anything. And he wanted me to trawl through hundreds and hundreds of them and add them all up. And of course the next thing was going to be like, oh my god, you've got 100 errors in there. That's a sure sign that there is malware on your computer. And now please download our fancy software from this hacker's website. After which of course you'll end up downloading the actual malware. I of course played dumb and I kept going on about how I couldn't see any totals there, and he kept on going on about how he wanted me to go down through the list and count them all up by hand. I told him there were hundreds in there that I wasn't interested, after which he started insulting me, telling me that he was giving me a very simple instruction. And at that point I frankly had enough, and I told him that I wasn't going to sit there being insulted by him, and I hung up. But it's an interesting one, because, you know, it's easy to be fooled by somebody like that. If somebody phones you up, asks for you by name, then tells you that they have access to information that's being sent from your computer, I can see how people would fall for such a scam. Don't.